Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I'm going to catch everybody by surprise by changing a little bit the times on my live here. Want to see who jumps in and who is here for these lives at this time. All right. Shields, hello. Anybody that's joining, they can quickly tell me where they're joining from. Of course, it's always good to know where everybody is joining from. Thank you, my wonderful friend. I'm just going to wait a little bit. For those of you that are new here, welcome, of course. Feel free to check out my TikTok page, right? And of course, if you like what you see, you can always hit a follow, and you can hit the little bell icon right beside it, so you get notified every time I upload a video, of course, right? And right at the bottom of my page, actually, you can also see my link tree. You can always click on that and see what else I'm up to these days, right? And again, for those that want to subscribe, this is your opportunity to do so while I'm live. Anybody that does subscribe and wishes to, of course, can have a quick Zoom meeting with me, 15 minutes, just to touch base with one another. Thank you, my friend. So again, yeah, just to clarify, the Zoom meetings are for those that are subscribing, of course, to me on TikTok, okay? And it's like a courtesy, like a thank you that I say to everybody. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds and see who else is going to jump on board. New Jersey is in the house. Awesome. Love from Iraq. Very, very good. Iraq, that's awesome. Right about now, Iraq is, weather-wise anyway, it would be a blessing, because right now, as I'm speaking to you, I have literally a snowstorm outside, so it's all good. All right. So what I wanted to discuss briefly, of course, is about thoughts today, okay? And why is it very, very important to actually be conscious of these thoughts and to be aware of them, okay? So it starts like this. When we wake up in the morning, actually, we have these random thoughts that just come into our being, into our focus, right? And then we kind of tag along with them, and we just follow along, right? But before we get into that, let's get some more likes, folks. The more likes we get, the more of a feeding frenzy we carry here. And of course, feel free to share with as many people as you like, so we can have more like-minded people jump on board into this beautiful platform of TikTok, right? So, as I was saying, when you actually wake up in the morning and you think of something, right, you start getting carried away from it. And before you know it, there is a plethora of thoughts that just is in front of you, and you don't really realize it, and you actually identify with it. And when you identify with these thoughts, that's where issues start, of course, right? And the reason for that is, again, because we need to step back, we need to observe these thoughts, and once you realize that you are not those thoughts, then you can truly master your reality. You can truly master who you really are. You can truly master your life, right? All of us are, or all of us, a lot of us keep going to outside sources to find help, and we keep, looking for answers in different directions. But in reality, the answers are already within you, and all the answers you've ever wanted are there, as long as you stay silent, you stay connected with who you are. Hi, lady. Hi, my friend. Nice to have you here. As long as you stay silent and connected, all the proper ideas will come into your mind, right? But like I said, it is crucial to understand the difference between an aha moment, right, and a thought. Good afternoon, Inspirational Essential Oils. Nice to have you here. How are you doing? Of course, anybody can make a comment regarding any topic that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be about thought, right? It can be about anything that your heart desires, of course, right? And again, I want to welcome everybody for taking the time to be here on this wonderful platform. And if you don't know who I am, of course, you can always check me out on TikTok. And if you like what you see, you can hit a follow, of course. And at the same time, you can also hit the little bell icon right beside it. And that guarantees you pretty much that every time I upload a video, you will get notified. Okay. And right at the bottom of my page, you're going to see my link tree. You can click on that and see what else I'm up to these days. Okay. And again, for those that want to subscribe, this is your opportunity to do so while I am live. Anybody that does so can actually have a 15-minute Zoom meeting with me as a courtesy call, right? But again, the Zoom meetings are for people that have subscribed. It's just like a thank you, you know, and we can touch base. Joanna, nice to have you on board. How are you, my wonderful friend? So, for those of you that just jumped on, of course, I was just talking about thoughts and why it is very, very important to actually be aware of them, okay? Because what normally happens, we wake up in the morning and we just have this random thought, for example, and then what happens, we get carried away. And then that thought brings another thought that is of similar vibration, right? And it can turn into a vicious circle. And what happens is we actually identify with these thoughts. And when we do such a thing, we actually lose our true power. We lose our true connection with who we really are. Okay? So there's no magic to this. It's just all about awareness. Because the idea, though, is not to try to control your thoughts. Okay? The idea is to observe them and know that you are not them and detach from them, right? So they come and they go. It's the same thing that you would do in meditation. Let's say you are sitting there, you're meditating. What is the best way for you to meditate? It's by you sitting there in silence, observing your thoughts, observing your emotions, observing everything that is happening around you, but at the same time, you let it go, right? And every time you get caught by a specific thought, okay, or an emotion, you don't get carried away by it. You just observe it and you release it. So the same thing you do in a real life. Real life, I mean in awakened life, like when you wake up in the morning, right? You just observe that thought and you release it. You don't let it get to you. All right. Love your TikTok. Thank you, Jel. Always nice to have you here. Let's get some more likes, folks. The more likes we get, of course, the more of a feeding frenzy we create here on TikTok on this wonderful platform. And of course, feel free to share. Okay. And Joe says, just took a walk in the nice snow. Couldn't get any bird seen, 4 birds of prey. That is awesome. Guess what, Joe? I actually have a snowstorm outside as well. So when you have a snowstorm outside, what a better way to just sit, relax, and have a live with like-minded people, of course, and connect with whoever wants to connect. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. And I'm amazing. Thank you, Joanna. Nice to know that you are amazing, my wonderful friend. It's all good. So inspirational essential oil, how do you know the difference between a thought and a download from spirit? That is a very, very good question. And the way you would know this is a thought, when it pops in your mind, it's going to, after a few seconds, it's going to be accompanied by another thought of similar vibration. Okay, when you get a download, first of all, the feeling would be different because the information that you would get would be information that you don't necessarily know, number one. And number two, you would kind of feel like this surge of energy as well, or like I call it, goosebumps, right? And generally speaking, it's not going to be accompanied by anything else, like another, thought. So that's the difference between downloads. You definitely know when you're getting a download, though, that's for sure. I'm doing well, Joanna. Thank you for asking. And I hope you're doing well as well. You just said you're amazing, so I take your word for it. Plantain, when I feel the energy between my hands, what do I do with it to heal myself? Thank you very much for that. So that's a very, very good question. Okay. So you are on a good track. First of all, you can feel this energy between your hands, and that is amazing. Now, since you can feel it between your hands, there's multiple ways, of course, that you can play around with this energy. But when you want to heal yourself, I would recommend that you actually, the same energy that you feel, you can feel it internally, inside your body, right? It's no different if you feel it here or inside. So now when you start focusing on that energy inside of you, it's going to act the same way as if you are focusing on it between your hands, right? So like, well, let's say you're focusing the energy between your hands, you can feel it. The more you play with it, the more it grows. Like I can feel the energy like at amazing distances. But anyway, the same thing would happen on the inside. So you let it expand, you let it grow, and you let it become very, very present, right? So if you have a specific spot that you want to heal, for example, let's say for argument sakes that your heart is hurting, or maybe you have a knee problem or something, you would direct that energy towards the spot that is actually in pain, okay? And when you direct that energy there, you let it sit there, like just keep focusing on it for, I would say, as long as it takes for you to actually feel that you're making a difference. But I would say anywhere to, around the 10-minute mark, 12 minutes, it's more than enough if you focus on it. If you feel the need to focus more, by all means, right? So you focus on that particular spot for one reason, right? The reason is because you have an energetic block there, okay? That's why you have pain. That's why you might have inflammation. That's why you might have something. That's an energetic block. So by focusing on it, it's going to resolve on its own, believe it or not. Beautiful question. Thank you. Okay, I like that. That's awesome. Thank you for liking that. Thinking of doing a polar dip to reset my energy. Joe, that's actually amazing because polar dips, if you combine them with breathing, I don't know if you've ever watched The Iceman, right? I actually use his breathing technique because I've been using it for years, and actually before I even knew about The Iceman, I was doing similar breathings myself. But the breathing technique is phenomenal that he's got, and when you combine that with the polar dipping that you want to do, it is remarkable for your body. It boosts your immune system, your cells love it, you get younger, your skin gets tighter, and you just overall feel so energized, so good, right? So, my friend, I love the way you think. Polar dipping is not for me, but for those that can handle it, that's awesome. All right, Joanna, I just got goosebumps. I need to schedule a catch-up with you. That is phenomenal. So you know where to find me, Joanna. I love the fact that you got goosebumps because every time we actually get goosebumps, it is a surge of energy that's traveling within us, right? And for me, every time I get goosebumps, it is a confirmation. It is a validation that I am in direct contact with who I am. Not that you're never in contact, you're always in contact, but it is a direct indicator to me that I'm allowing that energy to come through, and thus I feel it in goosebumps. So, congratulations, Joanna, because the same thing is happening to you right now. All right, so, Carol, it's exhausting to live with people. I believe we all here to learn to love. That is one of the main reasons we come here. Okay, we come here. We don't actually need to learn to love, and let me explain what I'm talking about. Love you. Thank you very much. Let me explain what that means. Okay, our true nature, our true being, is actually one of love and light. I even made a video on that, so I suggest you even go back and look at the video. Right, we are beings of love and light. But what happens is when we come into this physical reality, we get so involved with what is happening around us that we pinch ourselves off from the light, from the love. Okay? But all we need to do is think about it like this. Think about it like a hose with water, right? If anybody does gardening, you will know what I'm talking about. So you have a hose, you allow the water to come through, and then you just clamp it. You just pinch it, like I say, like I like to say. The flow of water naturally is going to stop, right? But then what you do is you just release it, and the flow of water comes through. The same thing happens with love. We don't need to come to learn about love. We come to allow love to come through us. And once we do that, phenomenal things happen. Thank you for sharing, Caroline. Love it. Thank you. Okay. Our thoughts. And Jal. Nice to have you here, Jal. Our thoughts is powerful, especially to ourselves and beyond. Yes, if we understood the power of focus and actually concentration on a single thought, okay, because what we are doing, we're taking this thought, for example, and we are feeding it with more energy by focusing on it, by concentrating on it, right? And when you do this and you do it for a length of time, right, you're going to notice that you become a very powerful force. You know what I mean? Because you know how to direct that energy. Thank you for sharing that, Joel. Very true statement. Shaggy, have you played Far Cry 6-1? No, I haven't actually. Is it interesting to play it? Okay. Phantom, thank you. You're more than welcome, my friend. Joe, yeah, brother. Breathing is so important. Yes, it is, especially when you, like I said, when you combine the breathing with your polar dipping that you suggest there. It is totally mind-blowing. The results are phenomenal, and there's actually even scientific evidence for this, right? For those of you that want some science backup in that, you can do your own research on it, of course. It is phenomenal. It really is. Joanna, exactly, confirmation. Thank you. That's right. Is it Clevis? Hello, good man. Hello, my friend. Nice to have you on board. I did this live a little bit earlier than I normally would, and the reason for that is because, again, I looked outside the window. There was a snowstorm happening where I'm at, so I said, you know what a beautiful day to sit in and just communicate with all my lovely people here on this beautiful platform of TikTok, of course. Speaking of TikTok, if you don't know who I am, and if it's your first time here, feel free to check out my page here on TikTok. And if you like what you see, of course, you can always hit a follow. And right beside it, you're going to see the little bell icon. When you tap on that, you will get notified every time I upload a video. And I strongly suggest you do that because I happen to upload a lot of videos that a lot of you find very interesting. So you say. Your words, not mine. And at the same token, right at the bottom of the page, you can find my link tree. You can tap on that and you can see what else I'm up to, of course. And for those of you that want to subscribe, this is your opportunity. You can subscribe to me here on TikTok while I am live. That's the only time you can do it. Anybody that does so and wishes to, of course, can have a Zoom meeting with me, complimentary, like 15 minutes or so, just to get to know one another a little better and touch base. Okay? All right, let's see what else. So true, so true. Shaggy. I've got autism. I feel surges of energy in my spine where my whole body starts to vibrate. So, sensory related. Yeah. So, at least your validation is that you feel this energy, right? And it goes through. And that's very positive, actually, when you feel energy like that. I'm not sure how much you know, Shaggy, about people that try to experience, for example, the Kundalini effect, right? This is what they want to experience. They want to experience this kind of energy going through the body so they can feel the vibration. And some of them really do, right? Some of them, you see them on the floor shaking and all that. And by the way, this is not fake. They do shake. and the reason they do so is because of that surge of energy coming through them. Thank you for sharing, Shaggy. Okay, Breath the Matrix. I like Break the Matrix. I like your username there. The answers are inside of us through meditation and fasting. You can reach the answers 1000%. As a matter of fact, I actually even did a video on food, right? I don't know if you guys saw it. I had a whole bunch of different food on the table there, and I was just explaining the same thing, okay? Like food is a very crucial component when it comes down to your connection with who you are, right? And of course, meditation is also a key component, but also when you are present in the moment, because that is also a form of meditation. Thank you for making that comment. And Crown says, do you find more people waking up at a larger pace since going into the fifth? I do find a lot of people shifting, okay? But now, it is interesting that you asked that, because it seems like a few years ago nobody had these type of conversations, right? And now you're right. The more I observe it, the more I see that more people are coming in alignment. Just the fact that so many people are in alignment with me, that tells me numbers are huge when it comes down to people having these experiences these days. Just from your comments, just from your likes, just from the posts, just from, in general, the community that we are building here. So yes, I agree with you. All right, let's get some more likes so we can create a bigger feeding frenzy here. Thank you. Don't forget the breathing techniques while meditating, 1000%. Actually, when you breathe during meditation, it is also a very, very powerful method to stay grounded, right? Because, again, a lot of people, what happens when they try to meditate, their mind like kicks in again, their thoughts kick in, just like I was saying at the beginning, and then they start following their mind, and they think that they are their thoughts, while in reality, they're not, right? So, thank you for making that comment, because personally, when I meditate, I will use the body weight, like my weight sinking into the seat where I'm sitting at, the sofa, right? I will use that as a grounding, like I'm relaxing right into it until I sink totally into the couch, right? And I feel that as my grounding point. But for a lot of other people, breathing is crucial, because again, you can just focus on the breathing coming in, going out, and when you place your attention on that, you also ground yourself. Not to mention that you are also replenishing your energy when you breathe, right? So that is awesome. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Break the Matrix, you are a beautiful soul, sir. Thank you very, very much for your beautiful comment. We are all beautiful, believe it or not. We all came here to grow, to expand, and when I say all, I mean everybody on this planet and beyond. Okay, we all came here to expand, to grow, to evolve, and the reason for that is because through expansion we live forever. Let me just put it to you that way. Okay, you can never die, of course, but the more you expand, the bigger and bigger you become, right? Thank you. Okay. Gina, I feel like I have known you in a previous life. That's amazing, Gina, because I get that quite a bit lately. And I'm going to put it to you this way, okay? You have known me, not just in a previous life, in many previous lives, Gina, okay? This is your validation. Right this moment, I can almost guarantee you that you are getting goosebumps when you hear me saying that, okay? Because this is your validation, of course. You have known me, not just in this lifetime, but previous lifetimes, multiple times. And the reason for that, thank you, Joanna. The reason for that is because when we decide to come down here to reincarnate, okay, we decide to do it in soul groups, okay? So basically a soul group is a group of souls that are playing this game together, because it is a game, right? And they exchange roles, and when in every lifetime they exchange roles. And the reason for this is because it is the way we grow, we expand, we learn different stuff, right? So they don't necessarily have to be related. You don't necessarily have to be, in the same family. For example, a soul group can be even the corporation that you're working. Like some of them are in your soul group. It could be a city that you live in, a country, and so on, right? They can be so huge. So you have known me, guaranteed. Okay. Tell me, by the way, if you are getting goosebumps, Gina. Okay, break the matrix. Curious why the loving, gentle souls of this realm seem to be targeted the most by people. So again, this is because this is the whole game. This is how the whole awakening process begins, right? So it's kind of like, how would you know the light if you don't see the darkness? Okay. So the souls that have been targeted, for example, you see them as being targeted here. They play a huge role overall for all of us, not just themselves, because again, it's a group effort, right? A beautiful question. Beautiful. George Gargarita, thank you for being here. Peace, love, and divine light, beautiful souls of light. Thank you, George, for being here. I'm curious, are you connecting from Greece, or are you connecting from some other place in the world? Just from your background, I would assume that maybe you are connecting from Greece. But Shaggy, you're a very intelligent man, and I hope people listen to what you say, because it's correct, man. Thank you, Shaggy. But deep down inside, you know what? We all have this connection. Excuse me. We all have this connection, right? All you need to do is actually sit back, right? And find a silent state, like a silent place, like a quiet place, right? And in this quiet place, connect with silence and be still. When I say be still, I mean literally become still. Don't move at all. Just stand there. Don't move at all. You can move your eyes, of course. It's better when you do this with your eyes open, because with your eyes you actually interact mostly, right? So if you have your eyes open and be still and silent, you will be getting information coming down to you. Okay, so we all have this capability. But thank you for your beautiful comment. Regardless, I love it. Thank you. And how long we need to practice to move objects by our energy? So that depends on every individual. Okay, everybody is different. Everybody has different timetables when it comes down to this. So generally speaking, I would just say that the more you practice, the better, of course, you become at it. But I wouldn't become too obsessed. And instead of focusing on moving an object, why don't you maybe shift your focus on connecting with the object, right? Just look at it and connect with it. Maybe you want to touch it, feel it, play with it, smell it, doesn't matter. Just form a connection with it. And then when you form this connection, it is much easier for you to influence. But I wouldn't try to force anything, okay? Okay. Joanna, you just said you can never die, and my phone pinged. Yeah, and that is, again, your validation, Joanna. Literally, that is your validation. And I bet you got goosebumps again, didn't you? That's awesome. Have you ever heard of Hemi Sync? Not really. I can't say that I have, but if you'd like, you can explain it in a few words. The word is kind of self-explanatory, but I haven't really checked it out myself. All right. Thank you for that. Miss K, do we come to the same circle in the next life, meaning the soul doesn't go far? That is up to you, actually, believe it or not. Usually, yes, you come into the same circle with other soul members. But again, you are the creator of your reality. You are the master of yourself. So you can choose to come or not come. Okay, but generally speaking, yes, you're right. You come around with the same circle. George Nelville Goddard. Okay, discovered the real truth about what the Bible really saying about us and our mind. Yeah, Neville was really remarkable. Okay, and anybody that has actually listened to Neville will know what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, he was very, very unique. I shouldn't say he was. He is very, very unique, and the reason for that is because nobody dies. Okay, Neville is still Neville in the other dimensions wherever he decided to go. That's awesome. Gina, yes, I'm getting goosebumps. There you go, your validation. I find that so interesting because I am so drawn to this group. That is awesome. Thank you, Gina. Like I said, I knew you were having goosebumps because it would be a clear indicator for you to have them, right? As I was speaking about that, it just I love the way you made that comment. That's beautiful. Thank you, Cheryl. As I was saying, the last time I was here before something interrupted my service. I need help with a lot of the things. Okay, so Cheryl, two things, right? The need, when you actually use the word need, right? You are implying that you are helpless, right? And I'm here to tell you that you are very, very powerful being, very powerful. Okay, so even if you can just change your train of thought of instead of saying need, you don't need anything. You have all the answers. But having said that, whatever it is that you wish, Cheryl, you can always reach out. Okay, and I am here for sure. George, source is the only way from where all the light comes from land. All the love comes from the same place. Yes, that is very, very wise. Yes, George. So you do have source, and everything comes from source. Everything is source. Okay, without source, nothing would be here. So source is actually the glue that keeps everything together. And thank you for saying that. And we're all beings a part of the same source. Yes, definitely. Thank you, George. Good day, Sparrowhawk. How are you? How can I begin to heal my stage 4 kidney disease? So, a couple of things, okay, that I can point out here. Number one, don't label it. I know it's hard because we've been conditioned, we've been brought up to think in this way, right? But the first thing that I would do is I wouldn't label it, number one. Number two, when we say heal, okay, we are implying that it's basically like a death sentence when we say heal. To heal, you should see yourself perfectly healthy. You should see yourself, just like George was saying earlier, in the eyes of Source. Because when Source sees you, Source sees a beautiful being of love and light. Okay? Totally perfect, because you are perfect. Okay? So, that's why I'm saying you got to drop the word heal, and even I begin. Okay? Because, again, that is implying something in the future. That means that there's a gap between this that you want and you. Okay? And then you are creating a distance. And when you focus that way, we're just creating a bigger distance, if that makes sense, right? So the best way to do it is to see yourself as already healthy, okay? And don't label it. If you need more help, please reach out. Baby girl, good morning. I'm just coming out of an extremely dark place. It was extremely hard to climb out. So that, in a way, is, I get it, like, you know, when you think that you are coming out of a dark place, in one way, it's hard, I get it. On the other hand, it is necessary for you to grow, expand, and evolve, okay? Because believe it or not, what you are going through is exactly where you need to be in order to move on to the next stage in your life. Okay, baby girl? So I wouldn't see this as a negative thing. I would see this as a learning. You had something to learn out of it. Okay? Thank you for sharing. Sparrowhawk, I'm trying to lift my energy level as it's low today. How are you? I am doing very, very well. Okay? How about this? Instead of you trying to lift your energy level, think about you being a being of love and light. Show yourself in your mind, picture yourself as this being that is filled with love, with light. And the energy that you have is endless. It is remarkable. Okay? When you see yourself in this light, you don't need to worry about anything else, Sparrowhawk. George, we Romanians have a word, okay? Encircle, okay? Encircle. We have to not letting in our mind because life can. I'm trying to see the other part. We'll find it. Miss K, why do I become so emotional when I pray and feel my spiritual level increasing? That is totally, totally good because you actually feel the connection, right? And every time you feel this connection with who you are or with whoever you're praying to, doesn't matter. You still have, every time you pray, you increase your frequency and vibration, okay? So you will get emotional because all these emotions are actually coming from a level of increased awareness and energy moving through you, okay? So that's awesome. George, life can sometimes go in circles. Yes, life can go in circles. I totally, totally agree with you, George. It is definitely the case for a lot of us. Thank you. I will do this. Yes, Sparrowhawk. Just like I said, just picture yourself in a beautiful light, and you are powerful. You're a powerful being. All right, again, I'm going to close off. I didn't want this to be long anyway, so I'm going to close off by saying thank you. Again, anybody that doesn't know me here, they can always come to my TikTok page. If you like what you see, you can hit a follow. And of course, you can always hit the little bell icon so you get notified every time I actually upload a video. Okay. And at the same time, you can find my link tree at the bottom. You can tap on that and you can see what else I'm up to these days. Okay. And for anybody that wants to subscribe to me on TikTok, on this wonderful platform here, you can always subscribe while I am live. That's the only time. You can't do it any other time, of course. Anybody that does so can have a quick Zoom meeting with me, like a 15-minute meeting, just so we can actually, connect and touch base. Joanna, best lunch break ever. Wow, love and light, the brightest light to you and everyone else. Joanna, that is truly, truly remarkable. You are connecting even when you're having lunch. Love and light to you. George, love and light from Source, beautiful souls. You are love and light. Thank you. So on that note, again, I love yous all. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking this wonderful time to connect. Okay. Shahira, good evening. Love and light to all beautiful souls and our wise man. Shahira, I'm on my way out, but not a problem. Thank you for joining, even if it was for a brief moment. Did I miss a lot? Okay. I'll recap a little bit, Shahira, just because you joined. I was about to close, but since you joined, you didn't miss a lot. No. The only thing I was actually discussing was about thought, okay? And how important it is to, when you wake up in the morning, not to participate in this thought, not to get carried away by it, because we need to understand that we are beyond thought, we are above thought. So when we disconnect from it, then our true power comes in, and we don't mistakenly believe ourselves to be those thoughts. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining. Shahira, love and light to you. Joanna, awesome. All of you, have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are in the world. Just enjoy it. Love and light, and no matter what you do, be the greatest you. Bye for now.